Are you looking for the best robotic mop? We purchased the iRobot Braava Jet M6. It's actually the M6 110. Probably a good 2 months ago is whenever I did the unboxing and all the setup stuff that I showed you guys in previous videos. And since we've had it for such a long time, I wanted to come on and give you guys my full-on review of this thing because I'm liking it, although there's a couple of things that I wish that they would change about it. First of all, hi to all the new dads out there. This is Dad Reviews. This is where I give you my unedited, hopefully more authentic look at the products that we like, use, and have and use to clean our floors, because we have kids and they're a mess. So if you're interested in that, you might want to consider clicking that subscribe button. So this right here is the machine. First thing about it is that it comes with the machine, and it also comes with 2 of each of the sweeping pads and the mopping pads. I'm going to talk about the mopping pads later on in the video, but I just wanted to let y'all know what it comes with. We ended up purchasing a mopping pad and a sweeping pad. This is the other sweeping pad right here. And they both seem to work very well. They're very easy to clean, and I'm really liking it. Now, whenever it comes to cleaning with this thing, first thing that I want to note for you guys is that down here, look, down at the charging base below this, there's like this little plastic pad, if you will, right here. And because of the way, it's cleaning up, it's picking up everything, and then it's kind of coming back over here, and I'm noticing that a lot of it just kind of deposits right here on the plastic piece. This does come off of here really easily, so you can take that off and you can clean it. I didn't do that for this video because I wanted to show you guys what that can look like after a few runs of the mop. Of how dirty it can be. And it also depends on how dirty your floors are too. It's gonna kind of vary by that. So that's just one thing that I wasn't really expecting whenever I got the mop in the beginning. I didn't expect there to be that much dirt and whatnot. Now, whenever it comes to the actual mop, I want to talk about the sprayer for a second. I noticed a couple of times that whenever I was watching the mop, sometimes the sprayer doesn't always spray forward. It kind of seems to get clunked up, junked up or whatever. I don't know what's going on. I never cleaned it or anything, but there seemed to be some kind of buildup there, and then sometimes the sprayer doesn't go all the way, but then a couple of rounds after that it'll shoot through. It could just be some of the liquid needing to get through the pipe. It could be filled with air. I'm not too sure exactly what's going on there. The sensor works great as far as pressing the home button and getting it to dock. I did notice one time that our 1-year-old came and he likes to come down here and fiddle with the base station. He'll take it and he'll pull it out and rummage through it and whatnot. We always have to come and pick him up, but the cord to plug it in is back here, and this will come out depending on how much he plays with it, and that causes a problem because whenever it's trying to find its home or you press the home button and it doesn't have power to it, then it's never gonna find its home. I realized that the other day whenever I just was watching it, and it was like going around near the home and everything, but it never actually docked. So if you have kids, especially ones that are crawling and whatnot, they're gonna want to play with it. At least ours did, and then that could easily lead into some of it messing up and whatnot as far as the power. There is a camera on here, and that is because it uses a camera system to be able to map out your house, which they plot on your phone for you through the iRobot app. So if you have the app installed, you can, whenever you're wanting it to clean, you can open up the app, and then once it's opened up, you press the clean button here, and then, I gotta change something. Move Braava Jet to a new location and press clean. Oh, okay, it's probably because I haven't moved and whatnot. But you press clean, and it lets you be able to choose your room. Let's see if we can go down to Smart Maps here. And then these are all the different rooms that we have. Like this is our, can y'all see that? It's kind of hard to see for you. There you go. There's our kitchen, dining room, laundry room. Actually, it's this area right here that we're in the entryway. So we have our entryway, we have the dining room, the kitchen, and then back there is the laundry room. So it maps all that out for you, and then you can add dividers where all of the thresholds are, and then you can tell it, hey, I just want to clean the kitchen, or hey, I just want to clean the laundry room. Another cool thing is that it also connects with Google Home, or Google Assistant, and I believe Alexa as well. So if you want to, you can, just say the command, Google or whatever, and say like mop the living room, mop the dining room, mop whatever you want to mop, and then it'll automatically go and do that. Now you can also set it for a schedule as well if you want to put it on a schedule at night or something like that. You can do that to where it just automatically does. Now the problem with the scheduling that I find, unlike the robot vacuum cleaners, especially the ones that have the big thing that can suction into them, there's a couple of them out there. I'm actually interested in getting one of those. By the way, if you guys want to check this thing out, I'll link it up down in the description below. Y'all can go read other people's reviews about it. Don't just take my word for it, although I have been using it for a while and I'm really liking it. But what was I saying? Whenever it came back to the rooms, and oh man, I lost my train of thought. But it does have the camera system on there, and it does also have, oh, that's what I was saying, whenever you have it for a schedule, the tank will run out of juice in there, run out of the liquid, and so you have to refill it. So you really only get, depending on how much liquid you set it, because there's a slider on there to where you can set whether you want like a deep clean, a normal clean, or a soft clean, and how much liquid you want to come out. That'll depend on how long it actually lasts, and also the square footage of your house and how much you want it to clean. But I've found that it seems like every 2 to 3 times it cleans, and that's just this 4 area right here. That doesn't include the rest of the house. I usually can get about 2 cleans out of that, maybe 2.5. And that's on a normal settings. Everything is at normal, kind of right in the middle. So that's one downside to it. Another thing too is the Braava Jet cleaner stuff is pretty expensive, and so I wanted to show you guys this in this review. My wife did some research and she found that this stuff right here is one of the compatible substances that you can use that's at definitely a better price than what the Braava stuff is, the original stuff. This is called Bona. I'll link it up down in the description below so you guys can go and get some of this. But we got the 96 fluid ounces, and it was like really inexpensive compared to the other, somewhere around like 10-15 bucks maybe, and you only use a little bit of it per load. I actually keep one of these medicine cups here, and 20 milliliters is what I fill mine up to, dump it into the little tank, and then fill up the rest of it with water, and that's all it needs to get a clean going. Let me go ahead and show y'all the tank real quick so you guys can get an idea of like capacity. Now I did want to point out that I've done some other videos on this, and I noticed someone bought a different robot mop called, I think it's called the Hobo Vac or Hobo Mop or something like that. I'll link it up down in the description below if you guys want to check it out. It was really interesting because it's a vacuum and a mop all in one. So you can run the vacuum and it'll pick up all the debris that's on the ground, and then you can run the mop and it'll get everything, or no, it does it at the same time. It vacuums, and it has the sprayer right in the middle of the vacuum, and then it mops on the back of it. So it was really interesting, but the reason why I don't like it is that if you have a carpet or a rug or anything like that, that's never going to get cleaned unless you actually take a vacuum to it, because it's always going to want to do a vacuum and the mop as well. So you'd have wet rugs, which would not be good. And that's one reason why I would like to get a separate vacuum unit that would be compatible with the iRobot Braava Jet. I don't know if I'm going to get the Roomba, or Shark makes one that looks really cool, and it's actually a bagless vacuum as well. I'll link that up down in the description below as well. That's the one that I'm most interested in, because I don't want to have to buy a bag every 30 days to replace all the debris and whatnot in there. Shark makes one that, this is a totally different video in it. Let's get back to the mop here. So like I said, I wanted to show you guys the tank. Basically, you flip up this little lid right here. You gotta flip up your handle right there and then pull it out. This is the size of the tank. I have it full right now because I need to run a mop with it, and I wanted to demonstrate it for you guys. I do notice that a little bit of the liquid collects in the bottom of the robot. I actually right now need to get a little rag and kind of rinse it out. I don't know why some of it escapes, but I do want to make note of that, because if you ever turn this thing upside down or whatever, it's going to start leaking out. Just one small flaw that I noticed there. Whenever it comes to taking off the pads here, what you need to do is press this square button right here. Oh, see, look, it's leaking right there. I don't even know why it's leaking. And the thing just falls right off. It's just these two little squeeze bars right here. And whenever you press the button, it opens it up so that it lets it out. On the pads, there's this like square looking thing right here. And that's so that the sensor knows if it's running the mopping pad or, oh no wait, it's not that square. It's something else. Oh yeah, it's off, yeah, it is that. It's off to the side a little bit. So this one means, and then you also have the floor sweeping pad right here. If y'all can tell, one is more to the left and one is more to the right. And that's to let the sensor know what it's gonna be doing, whether it's sweeping or mopping. Now, I posed a question about this particular part of the sweeping mop pad up here on my YouTube in another video, because I noticed that whenever I didn't really know what the function of that was, and someone by the username of Hast, H-A-S-T, mentioned that this is something to statically charge all the pieces down here so that it can do a better job of picking up. I will say I'm not as impressed with the sweeping pad as I am with the mopping pad. I think the mopping pad works a little bit better, but also, like I said at the beginning, it comes with some disposable pads, and I believe that the disposable sweeping pad is actually better than the reusable sweeping pad. I think it collects better. Now, it could also be because this is more of a gray color, and the gray color you don't really see as much of the dirt as opposed to the disposable ones, which are white, and you definitely see the dirt and the stuff that it collects on that particular pad. I didn't keep those pads. Oh, no, wait, I did. Look, right here. I thought I threw them away. They're in the back. So look, this is the reusable sweeping pad right here. Again, it has that same, I don't know what type of material it is right here, but I think that they were telling me that it's used to statically charge so that it actually can pick up. But you can see how much it picked up there. This one, it didn't pick up as much. I guess the floor wasn't as dirty or whatever, or I may have taken some out. I don't remember, it was so long ago. But that's the other sweeping pad right there. And then these are the two mopping pads that we used. You can tell whenever we did it the first time, we let it run a few times, right? And then this was another time right there. So I haven't tried washing these or anything yet, just to see if I could get a second use out of them. The only thing I really did try is that on the sweeping pad, I pulled out a bunch of the stuff that was in there and I ran it again, and that seemed to work for a little while. So all in all, if you're getting sweeping pads or mopping pads, one, I'm gonna link them up down in the description below, but the mopping pads, I would say get a 2-pack of, because you're probably gonna, because you have to wash these things, whether you do it in the sink or whether you do it in the washing machine, which you can put them in the washing machine. They are washing machine safe because this back part here on these are plastic. These are more of like a cardboard material, so you couldn't put these in the washing machine, the reusable ones. But I would recommend 2, because you're going to want to have one in the wash, and then you'll have another one to use for the next day whenever you go to clean again. Unless you're washing it in the sink, then it wouldn't be as big of a deal. As far as sweeping pads, I probably wouldn't buy another one of these. I feel that I have a Dyson vacuum right there that does the job of what a sweeping pad would do, and I'm interested in getting the robotic vacuum, which would also do the same type of job. So sweeping pad, I think they kind of just like threw this in there. Now, another thing that I wish that they would have done, this is one of the drawbacks that I have for this iRobot Braava Jet M6, is that it comes with it doesn't have a picture of it. Oh yeah, look, it comes with the disposable pads, and I feel like it should come with the ones that you can rewash. There's no purpose in them having the reusable ones. I can't think of one. Or if they sell 2 models, one with the disposable pads and one with the reusable pads, because I would have definitely bought the reusable pads over the disposable pads. It just seems, I like that idea that I can reuse them over and over again, and from what I understand, you can use them up to like 50 times, 50 different moppings. I don't have any, that's what I read on the website. I don't have any validation of if they're actually going to hold up, because I did notice in particular on the sweeping pad, it's starting to get a little frayed right there where the static charge is supposed to collect. So I don't know how long that's actually going to last. And with this one, I don't run it as often as the mopping one. Now, Also, whenever it comes to our floor, we have kind of, like I showed y'all earlier, this like brick floor, and it's very rigid. So I don't, I don't know how good of a static charge it's gonna get on this type of flooring. I would assume that it might do a little bit better with like a wood flooring. But also, I believe that because of the grout that's in there, it's gonna get a little bit more beat up, running over the same parts over and over again with these pads. And so I might be getting a harder use on these than maybe someone with just some soft wood floors or something like that. All in all, I think that this is a fantastic mop. I would definitely recommend it. Like I said, I'll link it up down in the description below. Y'all can go and read other people's reviews about it. In my original videos, I mentioned that there were some other people having problems with like black streaks. I was reading in the reviews on Amazon, black streaks from the wheels of that. I haven't had any issues with that. Again, our flooring is a little bit more textured and whatnot, so it may not show up as much. But I did want to point that out, that some people were having, although I think those were like super early adopters, and they've had some time to kind of fix a few things, I believe. All in all, as far as the camera system and telling it where to go, it seems to be able to find the rooms just fine. It picks up where it left off. If the battery runs low or the tank runs out of water, you simply recharge it or refill the tank and press clean, and it goes back to where what left off. One thing that I did want to note is that whenever it came to our couch was too low to be able to get the robot mop under. So I just put some wood blocks underneath the couch so that it lifted it up just a couple of inches. I needed like a ½ inch. So I just got a little 2x4 and I cut them to fit, and I put that underneath there. There are different risers, or you can change out your pegs on your, or your feet on your couch if you want to go that far to give it a little bit more height so that it would fit under there, so that it could mop underneath the couch. I'll link those up down in the description below as well if you guys want to check those out. There's different ways that you can do it. There's kind of the ugly big block things, or you can actually change out the pegs depending on what kind of you have them for your sofa. I went for a cheap, easy route and just kind of put some 2x4 bricks underneath there. Let's see, what else about this thing? Is there anything else? The wheels do great. I noticed that they got like this, it's like a Velcro type of thing right here. I noticed that the pads don't really stay on that Velcro. I think that's what that's for. Maybe you guys might be able to tell me down in the comments below if that's for something else. Have you guys ever used a robotic mop or a robotic vacuum before? I would love to know that down in the comments below. The bumper sensor actually seems to work really well. It doesn't like jar into anything, and I think that's because it's got the camera system here. So it doesn't bump as many things around your house, not leaving marks on anything. It does really well going underneath the table and getting around all the legs and everything, so I was very impressed by that. In fact, one thing that we do whenever it's at nighttime, we run it at night. Oh, that's another thing I wanted to mention. We run it at night, and so I take all the chairs and I flip them upside down on top of the table, and we run it at night. And one thing that I wanted to mention is that this robot mop is really quiet. I'm very impressed by the lack of sound. Now, granted, it is on the other side of the house from our bedrooms, and so whenever we run it at night, like I said, we don't hear it, but I was impressed. I was impressed by how quiet. You know, you're used to the robot vacuums, like, and they go and they pick up all the stuff and it makes a loud noise. Because this doesn't have that power motor to it, it's super quiet. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a little demo here for you guys. Press clean, get the mop going. It's gonna go forward, go backwards, spray some stuff, and then it's gonna wipe it up. And just keeps doing that over and over. Now you may be thinking, well, it left streaks there, it's not really cleaning that much. What it does is, since it has that camera system on there, whenever it turns, you're gonna see it turn in just a minute, whenever it hits the wall there, it's gonna turn around, it's just gonna move over just a hair, like an inch maybe. And I think that also depends on what setting you have it set for, if it's the light cleaning, the deep cleaning, or the normal cleaning. But notice how it's gonna kind of turn, and it's just going to move over just a hair. It's going to turn a little more, and then it's going to come back, and it's gonna re-go over this area right here. So you might be thinking, oh, this right here is all it is, the clean, that's it? No, it's actually gonna come and clean it again. It's gonna go back and forth, well, unless it's using its camera sensor to figure out everything. But I really like the way this thing works and how it cleans. Let me move this chair so it doesn't bump it. And how it just goes back and forth. It goes over the same spot little by little, but it gets a really nice clean on there, I'd say. Honestly, I probably need to change that pad on there. I need to clean it. But it does work really well. I think that the spray is just enough for a normal spray on there. I like the mapping situation on there, like it's in this room right now. It knows that it's in the dining room. It knows that where the boundaries are for the thresholds, so it won't go through those. And then whenever it's done with this room, it'll just continue on to the next room. So we hit the bump right there. We're going to inch over just a hair, and then now it's going to go through, and we're going to clean all of that again. Another thing that I noticed too about the liquid that's in there, it tends to, I guess depending on how much is sprayed, but it tends to dry fairly fast as well. So you're not stuck with like a wet floor for a couple of hours or an hour or whatever, you know, with a traditional mop or anything like that. All in all, fantastic product. I'm very satisfied with it, and I can definitely recommend it to you guys. Like I said, if you guys want to check this thing out, I'm going to link everything up down in the description below. Y'all can go and read other people's reviews about it. Don't just take my word for it. If y'all have any questions about it, let me know that down in the comments below. I'm always active in the comments as much as I can be. And if y'all definitely have questions, I always try to answer y'all's questions, whether it's in a follow-up video or if it's directly on there in the comments. Sometimes I do both for you guys. Thank you for Hast to letting us know about the little padding and what that's for up on these pads right here. Definitely appreciate y'all's comments whenever I do ask questions. I do appreciate them because I'm learning just as much as you guys are. If you guys want to see this entire series of videos that I did about this robotic mop, including the unboxing, the setup, how the iPhone app or how the phone app works, the original test that I did of it, go and click this playlist of videos right there. I'll see y'all in those videos. Thank you, dads, for watching. That thumbs up is always appreciated. If you know how to say robotic mop in any other languages, let me know that down in the comments below. I've been kind of playing around with doing other languages in the description. Thank y'all for watching, and Dad out.